So chapter 9 is all about the emblem, which is like the ending of the entire My Story, and it talks about how this is like finding that magic tool from like the donor hero story from the other chapter. So this is like when we find that tool, and that's the emblem. I thought it was interesting how it said, the method of asking you to do something before you know how to do it continues in this assignment, because I felt like this whole process is like telling us to do stuff that we don't know how to do yet, but we're expected to do it, and then you learn how to do it after you've done it. So the emblem is just like that. They don't give you much direction, they just give you kind of like an outline, and you kind of meld it or mold it to your own My Story. And there's a bunch of different examples of what emblems can be thought of. And here are these advertisements and then also films. But they're just supposed to be like a model for what we can do, not exactly what we should do. And an emblem basically is like the theme of your entire My Story. It embodies it all. And it kind of finds this circulating pattern through the 4 discourses. It also says that this can be something really easy to find and hard to find. It's easy because it's like the main thing or the main mood throughout your My Story, so it should pop right out. But then it can be hard to find because this mood has been like internalized as a state of mind, so it might be hard for us to notice because it's something that we live with. It's a mood that has been throughout our life in different ways. So a good exercise to find our emblem is to do patterning. So if usually like an object or like a thing pops up and I think it says between any 2 or more discourses, then kind of make a mark of it. So we're actually having these physical signifiers throughout the discourses. So an emblem, they say, is mixing a motto, a picture, and an epigram. A motto is basically the theme, and then obviously the picture is like the picture. And the epigram is like a statement, I guess, explaining it below it. But our main focus is the picture of the emblem because it's essential because it has to like capture the meaning in image form, which is the point of electracy, is finding obtuse meaning in images. So this obviously can be very hard. And we should be able to like interpret the picture and find the theme. Or you can, I guess it doesn't matter to anybody else. Let's see. So yeah, they looked at all kinds of advertisements, especially ones for a brand of cigarettes. And basically we want to see how the ad shows the link between the sign and then it says, look closely at how the ad initiates the link between a sign value and individual subject. So this is just, again, another model or relay or example for designing our emblem, just to give us a better understanding without actually telling us what to do, which can be difficult sometimes. Again, they also focus on this guy, Tarkovsky, who believe he did Russian, he was in Russian cinema, and basically he embodied the Russian, like what would be the Japanese wabi-sabi of nostalgia, but he didn't do it through like telling or written word. He mostly did it through landscape images, basically like the setting, which is really interesting because they gave a bunch of different examples of scenes from his movies, and you could feel the nostalgia through the scene, but they never said, oh, look back and feel like homesick or nostalgic about anything. So it's just in the atmosphere of his settings. So again, that's another way, we don't have to necessarily look for the objects or the plot in our discourses, but even just like look for a reoccurring atmosphere or setting or feeling. So yeah, this entire chapter again was about the emblem and recognizing this map of the My Story, and it's matching up basically your inside and outside experience and recognizing that inside experience. It can help us clarify our self-understanding. And going back to what I said before about doing stuff that we don't know how to do yet, I really like the end of this chapter. It says the proverb about teaching people to fish, which is the story how it's give a man a fish and he'll eat for a night or a day, teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. So we basically have to learn this ourselves without being told what to do or just it being handed to us, and that'll help us throughout our life. So it says and the whole point is, like, again, not to be told what to do, which can promote creativity, because if we're given the answer, then we're not going to sit here and think about it. But if we're not, then we all come up with different things, and our creativity shines through, because we're forced to think for ourselves. So that's all on Chapter 9.